Welcome back, CATatoes, to my channel for a new episode of the K-Drama Legacy Generation 1 Fisherman's Daughter, Episode 5. So let's review some of the new characters that we met in Episode 4. First, we have Colt, who is a mysterious, rough guy that has a problem with Do-hwan because Do-hwan apparently owes him money. Then we met the tall, dark, and handsome stranger who helped Yoonah get out of a tight spot in the alley, and his name still remains unknown at the moment. So now let's go ahead and move into our recap. Yoonah finally introduced both Min and Do-hwan to each other, and Do-hwan is crushing so hard on Min and thinks that she is super cute, and Min is somewhat interested in him but likes to play hard to get. So they were all hanging out, and then Yoonah ended up needing to go to the market to grab some things for her mom, and so on the way she decided to go down some side alleys, and she ended up face to face with Colt, who he really pressed her for some information about Do-hwan, and just as things were starting to get intense, a stranger came to her rescue, which is the mysterious stranger we mentioned, and she also got promoted to a caterer and heard from Do-hwan the whole story of the situation that he's in with Colt. And then she found out later that her mom has also set her up once more on a date with someone, but the two have agreed after this date that her mom is going to back off for a bit, and that is where it leads us to the start of today's episode. It was awkward. I wanted it to be over. Please, someone send help. It was Thursday afternoon, and I was having the third and hopefully final date that Mom had set me up on. He was nice, that's for sure, but he was so shy. Every conversation I had to start myself. Otherwise, we'd just be sitting in permanent silence. All I had found out about the guy was that his name was Kang Dae-gwan. He was 23 years old, lived in the outer part of the island in a smaller village. He liked farming and enjoyed being alone. So with that last part, I knew I'd be pretty safe and that this guy would have no interest in pursuing this any further. The conversation had begun to lull, so I decided to take that opportunity to make a suggestion. Hey, I'll go get us some drinks from the bar. He nodded his head and went back to gazing out over the ocean, which he seemed to be enjoying more than my presence anyways. I made my escape, walking up to the bar. I let out a big sigh and looked up. I flinched in surprise when I realized I was making eye contact with someone I recognized. Sitting next to me, his mouth slightly open, was the stranger that had rescued me in the alley only a few days before. We just sat there, staring at each other, until finally he spoke. "Oh hey, long time no see. Not getting into any more trouble, are we?" I let out a small laugh. No, definitely not." "Well, that's good. After all, you took off so fast I didn't even get your name." He trailed off. I raised my head quickly and responded, Yoonah, Yoonah. That's my name." I could feel my face flushing. Why did I just blurt that out? Here I am being super awkward again. "Well, I guess that answers that question." He smiled. Just then the bartender came over and asked what I'd like to order. "2 sea splashes, please." The bartender nodded his head and began prepping the drinks. My mysterious savior looked at me for a moment with curiosity. "Wow, 2 drinks, huh? I didn't peg you as having such a high tolerance." I turned to face him quickly. "No, they're not both for me. One's for me and one's for my date." Right after I said it, I could feel instant regret setting in. "Right, your date. That makes more sense." He looked away from me and stared out over the bar. Without hesitation, I went into an explanation. "I mean, not my date, my mom's date. No! I mean the guy my mom set me up with. A blind date. The date she chose for me." I felt so embarrassed. He turned back to face me, an eyebrow lifted. "A blind date, huh? Well then, how's it going?" I sighed. Honestly, not well. He's super nice, but before I could continue, he interrupted me. Ouch! The butt. Here it comes. Poor bloke didn't even stand a chance. He took a quick swig of his drink and took a deep breath. I wasn't sure how to take his comment. Did he mean it sarcastically or in a more serious way? I shook the thought from my head and grabbed the drinks the bartender had just placed on the counter. "Well, I better head back over there. Don't want to leave him high and dry." I turned to leave and had walked a few steps, then realizing there was one more thing I wanted to ask him, I stopped. Sorry, but you never told me your name." He turned and walked right up to me. He looked down and smiled. "It's Hyung-sik Park." I could feel color flooding my cheeks again. Hyungsik Park. Well, thank you for the other day. I'd love to repay your kindness. That's not necessary. Seeing you around will be enough. That said, he winked, turned, and left. I wasn't sure what he meant by that, but my heart was beating a million miles an hour. This guy, each time I saw him, he made my heart race. What was it about him? I had only just learned his name, but here I was finding myself hoping that I'd run into him again soon. Yoonah is sitting back at the table here with Kang Bigwan, and they are having their lunch. So she got herself some pan-fried tilapia, he got some blackened bass, and then here are their sea splashes that she went to the bar to get. So yeah, she's feeling a bit, well, I guess he's really feeling flirty, but I wanted to show you guys her impressions of Kangdae. And so let's go ahead and open it up. So we did find out that he's active, he's loyal, and he loves the outdoors, which makes sense. They have bad compatibility. I don't know why she perceives him as very attractive. I mean, he's not bad looking, but she thinks that he's a nature maniac, which makes sense. He's really big into farming and all of that. And he thinks she's responsible, which, you know, that's good. But guys, here is Hyungsik that she just met and saw at the bar, found out his name, and she thinks he is extremely attractive. She thinks he's fun to be around, and he thinks she's responsible. So yeah, they don't really know a whole lot more about them, like about each other. I don't know why he's in a club cosplay, but okay. So yeah, it looks like things are going really well. They do have good compatibility. So yeah, she's just trying to finish up her meal here with him. She's like, hey, so how's your drink? He's like, oh, it was great. Thanks for going over to the bar to get that. She's like, yeah, it was no problem. But man, this girl has so much more on her mind than this guy. But I mean, he's really not that bad. I mean, look at him. He seems like a really nice guy. Like, he seems pretty shy and quiet and everything like that. So yeah, we'll chat. Did you just drop trash right in front of my table? Well, that's unappetizing. But also, after Hyungsik left, we did get on here that there was an attractiveness alert. So wow, what a sim. So she is just blown away by him. And out to lunch. Who wants lunch in a sack? That just sounds wrong. Going out to lunch is the only way to live. So she is having a really great time with it. Her drink was disappointing though, and so it wasn't really her thing. But yeah, wow, what a sim. Yoonah Yu just stopped what they were thinking about for a moment and found themselves staring at Song Tong. What? No, that can't be about him. No, that is all a lie. We're going to pretend that that was about Hyungsik because I don't know why she's feeling that way about her dad's best friend. Like, he is an old man. So I don't know why she thinks he's extremely attractive. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. But okay, I feel like her preferences have gotten really confused. So I might have to go in and fix those because that's a little creepy and a little disturbing. So yeah, look, for the story's sake, guys, we know she's into the other guy, not the old guy. So, all right, well, I'm glad that things seem to be going well. She does have work here in a few minutes. So she's like, it was really exciting, you know, getting to meet you. Thanks for taking the time. He's like, yeah, sure. I got to head back and help my family out with the farm. She's like, yeah, I got to head to work. So thanks again. I hope you enjoyed your lunch and, you know, I guess I'll see you around. And he's like, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we are going to go ahead and have her head on out. Oh, Hanyul is done with school, so she looks like she's doing good. And I guess we should end the meal and pay. Or is she's going to go to work. She switched into her swimsuit to go to work. I just realized the trash can is down here in the water. But I guess whatever way works to get you there, girl. Yoonah is at work and we got a catering conundrum. Bored at work, Yoonah is killing time by browsing the internet when the business phone starts to ring. The caller breathlessly explains that there's a celebrity gala taking place this evening, but the master chef booked to cater the event has fallen ill and they need an immediate replacement. Yoonah's employer is the right company to handle this job, but she suddenly finds herself daydreaming of rubbing elbows with A-listers. Will Yoonah skip out of work early and cater the event all by herself, or will she book the event through her employer? So honestly, she would never cater the event by herself because I don't think she really cares to befriend celebrities. She's going to do it the proper way, which is to book it through her employer. So we're going to go ahead and have her do that. And Hanyul is over here. It looks like she is heading out for a jog with Baram. So they are going to go out, get some fresh air for the evening. And poor Soa. She's over here taking a nap on Yoonah's bed. She is just exhausted from all the cleaning, and her dad had to repair the toilet. Things were just breaking left and right. She was doing some laundry and all of that. So hopefully she'll be feeling better in a bit. Plus, she wants to know, of course, how things went on Yoonah's date. So she is just trying to take a little snooze. That way she will be awake when she gets home, because I don't think she gets home until, oh wow, at work until 11. So yeah, she's gonna be out pretty late. She might have to wait until tomorrow. And something I found that was interesting while we're over here with Hanul and Baram is I wanted to show you guys, she knows cold. Hanul does. And I'm not sure why or how. So, but for some reason, they have a good compatibility. So they might not become best friends instantly, but it certainly won't be a challenge for them to get along. So something's going on there. She knows Colt. So we're going to have to figure out why or how that is. Yoonah will be home in about 1 hour, and so it looks like, where did Hanul go? She was just doing, oh, there she is. She's doing her homework on the bed while her dad is snoozing because he has to get up pretty early for another fishing trip. And I did want to show you, she got this want over here for chat with Colt. So she is wanting to chat with him. So guys, I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. And oh, it looks like Soa is going for a swim. I don't know why she's going for a swim this late at night. I need her to come back because Yoonah will be home soon and she wants to know the deets. Yoonah was able to bring home 208 simoleons, and so she is doing quite well. So here is her mother standing here waiting, watching some TV, waiting for her to show up. So of course, you know, she can see her through the door. She's like, oh my gosh, of course my mom is literally sitting here and waiting for me. So we'll have her come on in and chat with her mom, just so that they can finally talk about everything that went on. I don't know why she just keeps standing there. There we go. Come on, girl. Get in this house. Yoonah's like, hey, Mom, how are you? I'm home. And she's like, oh, hey, honey. How are you doing? How did things go at work? She's like, well, it was pretty busy. We had this crazy thing go on with celebrities and all of this, but I was able to get it booked for my employer. And so things went really well, I think. She's like, that's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear about that. And she's like, so tell me, how did things go with Mr. Guan? Did you like him? What was your thoughts? And she's like, well, he's a really nice guy. But, you know, it was just like, he was so shy. I had to start the whole conversation all myself. And she's like, oh, honey, you know, it just takes more getting used to someone and, you know, breaking the ice. Like, things can definitely get better. And she's like, well, Mom, I don't really know if it's something that's going to continue to move forward. She's like, well, regardless, honey, you need to go over. I want you to go over tomorrow and bring some baked goods to his family. She's like, what do you mean? Like, why would I go and do that? She's like, well, you know, I'm pretty good friends with his mother, and, you know, she really wanted to meet you. And even if you don't plan on dating the boy, like, you still need to go over and just show kindness to his family for, you know, allowing him to go out on the date. And the mother, she did want to meet you. So she's like, well, does that mean you guys are going to push us together more? She's like, honey, don't worry about that. Like, don't stress about it. You know, just go and drop the goods off, bake something. I know you can bake things, and it's going to be something really good. Just drop it by tomorrow. Say hi, thank her for the date, and oh, but who am I? I'm not sure what I want to be when I grow up. All my friends seem to have it figured out. Of course, Yoonah's going to tell her, pick something you like. But yeah, her mom is just trying to, I don't know if she's necessarily trying to force her to be with this other guy. Like, I don't think she really is, but you know, it's kind of just their customs here on the island, like to be polite and kind like that, because technically with Do-hwan, she already met the grandmother, Miss Yamada, so she was already able to like say hi and everything like that. And when it comes to Hakun Wong, that one, she, you know, he doesn't necessarily, like, he was already like pretty grown, and so she didn't need to go meet the mother and everything like that. He was already kind of doing his own thing. But this one, you know, he's like right about her age, and from the local area, smaller fishing village nearby, and farming. So it's like they have a lot in common. And so it's just, you know, the way some of the people are. So she's like, I can't believe I have to go and do this tomorrow. She's like, hey, Dad. And he's like, hey, honey, you doing all right? She's like, no, Mom's making me take some baked goods over to that guy's family. Look, he's laughing. He's like, oh, honey, don't stress about it. You know, don't think too much of it. Just drop it off. Say hi. say you had a great time and then just move on and leave. And she's like, oh, Dad, I sure hope you're right. I really do hope you're right. And I don't know why she is so energized and like not losing any energy, but you know what? We're okay with that. And we're just going to roll with it. Her dad does have work here in a little bit, so I'm going to get them all taken care of, and then I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. Yoonah has woken up. It is around 8:40 this morning, and she is just getting ready. She spent some time making some tricolored dango, so we are going to go ahead and open the fridge so that we can take this. This is going to be her baked good that she is going to take over to Confiding's. And so she is going to head on out nice and early. It looks like, oh, we'll go ahead and let her take the trash out. Oh my gosh, look at Barum. Like, OMG. My cat literally sleeps like that, and it's hilarious. Like, he's living his best life. Oh, and her dad has just gotten home from fishing. He was out super early this morning. So, all right, let's go ahead and travel. Yoonah has arrived outside of the small little village that Confiding lives at. And so let us go ahead and, I guess, say hello to people. We need to knock on the door, I'm guessing. Is there... No, is it not that one? Knock on door. I mean, there's like a lot of different doors. I mean, I guess we can just knock on this one. I mean, I doubt anyone is going to answer because it's the greenhouse. But oh my gosh, look at this cow over here. What's its name? It's just brown cow. Okay. And did anybody... Girl, did you knock on the door? Stop changing into your swimsuit. Like, for real. So she can't knock on the door. Can she come knock on this one? It's not letting her knock on that one either. OMG. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, I was finally able to get Yoonah to knock on the door. I had to move the building because I guess this elevation was messing it up. So we're going to change her back into the outfit she was wearing because, yeah, we're not going to go introduce ourselves to people in our swimsuit, are we? But, oh, this must be his mother. So let's go over here and we are going to introduce ourselves to her. And, oh, and who is this? This is Chulguan. This must be like his grandfather or something. So it does seem like a lot of them all live here, which is super nice. And so we think she is responsible, it looks like. So I want to see if we can give her a gift. So let's see, affection, give a gift, give a friendly gift. We're going to give her the tricolored dongos. We're like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. I'm Yoonah Yu. I went out with your son, Confiding, yesterday, and it was really nice to meet him and everything. He's a really nice guy. And she's like, oh, well, thank you, honey. Oh, your mother said you're quite the chef and baker. So it looks like she did really like her dongos that she got. So I'm really happy about that. And so we'll go ahead and just get to know her briefly. Oh, all these chickens are just all walking around. And yeah, so, oh, it looks like there he is. Kangdae is in here just typing away, doing his thing. So they have like a pretty nice home. And so look at all they got all this wood chopped over here. His mother's family oriented. That's not surprising at all. They've got their cow, and then it looks like we got some other people over here. Oh, Hana Guan. This must be his grandmother. So very cool. Looks like the whole family lives out here. Oh, and there's a whole nother house up here. I forgot about this. And Sanguk Guan, a teen. So maybe he has a little brother. So that is cool. And anyone else? I feel like, is there anyone else here? Okay, maybe that's everybody. But wow, so yeah, they all live in this little area together. It's kind of like a family compound in a way. And so we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves to his grandfather since he is over here to be polite. So it looks like we just keep thinking that everyone is responsible, which is pretty funny, but it looks like he's talking about baking because he had that little cupcake. So he's like, wow, so you're quite the baker. I can't wait to try these dongos, are my favorite. And she's like, yeah, for sure. And the mother is just chatting with Yoonah. She's like, yeah, so are you and my son gonna hang out again? Or, you know, what's... And she's like, well, you know, he's really nice and everything. He's definitely a little bit on the shy side. She's like, oh, I know. I've been telling him he needs to try to get out a little bit more. And she's like, yeah, you know, he is a really nice guy. I mean, I wouldn't mind hanging hanging out with him more. And she's like, oh, that's wonderful. But, you know, Yoonah's trying to play it like nonchalant and like not sound like she's into him because she's not and doesn't want anything to get pushed. So, but we probably should stop by and say hi to him while we're over here because I feel like that would be the polite thing to do. So she's just going to come in here and ask him about his day briefly just to see how he's doing. And she's like, hey, so I just dropped by to give you guys some tricolor dongos that I made. He's like, oh yeah, for sure. That's great. Thanks so much. That's really nice of you. My mom did want to meet you and everything. She's like, yeah, she seems pretty eager for us to hang out again. He's like, yeah, you know, don't worry about it. I mean, she's just, you know, doing the mom thing. I'm sure you get it with your mom. And she's like, yeah, I do. It's kind of interesting because this is like the most he's ever talked to her. And she's wondering if it's too because it's like the comfort of his own home and environment. So he feels, you know, more at peace. And I think he feels better because he knows that Yoonah's not like wanting to be in a relationship with him because he's not really focused on that. He is busy trying to focus on farming and everything else like this. But look at this beautiful lot over here. Like, this is really gorgeous. There's like a little bathroom hidden over here. Oh my gosh, there's like, this is so big. Like, this lot is way bigger than I thought. Like, why is it's letting me go all the way over here? Oh my gosh, what the? There's a volcano? No. That is so cool. Look at that. Like, the magma's falling in there. That is so freaking cool. I love this. No freaking way. That is amazing. Okay, anyway, so that was a lot for me to take in. Oh, it looks like his mom is coming in to chat with us while we're in his room. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, are we not in the room? Where did Yoonah go? Where is she? Where is she? Okay, I don't know where she went. Oh, she's out there. But anyway, so we have done what we need to. So I think this is good time to go because she does have to head off to work again. And plus, Min has been texting her like crazy because she's like, girl, you need to spend the night at my house tonight because we have so much we need to talk about. I need to hear about everything and what's been going on lately. And so, yeah, guys, we're going to head to work. And then after we get off, we're going to head over to Min's place to chat and catch up with her and hang out. Yoonah is getting ready and is about to head off to work. And Hanul just got home with exam results. She aced it. Amazing. She aced that test. She's on her way to becoming valedictorian. What? That is crazy. I haven't even been like doing anything to make her like study or anything like that. So I think that's just kind of crazy. But oh my gosh, look at her parents in here just slow dancing. They are adorable. And so we need to get Hanul in here. She is freaking starving. So we're going to get her taken care of. And Yoonah, she's going to head off to work. And I think she might even be getting a promotion possibly today if we can get her career performance up. It's Friday evening and Hanul has she just came outside and is chatting over here with Colt. And I don't even know what to think. Like, she snuck out around back so that nobody would hear her. So I'm wondering, like, does she know Colt and has like a crush on him or something? I am so curious. Like, we really need to figure out what is going on there with that. But she needs some fun. So we're going to have to take care of Hanul while we wait for Yoonah. So apparently there's an event called Extra Food, and you guys won't believe it, but look who is outside our house. We have both Do Hwan and Hakun Wong. Oh my gosh, of course. So her mom, of course, has been wanting to meet all of them, and oh my gosh, there's Min too. Like, wow, okay. And Min is like, oh my gosh, is this that one guy? And look, he looks so like begrudging. He's like, my mom forced me to come over here. She wanted me to just make sure that I showed my appreciation, even though he doesn't want anything to do with this family, honestly. And of course, it looks like she thinks he's admirable. And what's funny though is when you go to her panel, what he thought of her is he thinks she's stuck up. Oh my gosh. But oh my goodness, she's very confused. She's like, oh, well, he is a handsome young man, but he does seem a little bit quite serious, like she did say. So, and then she has been wanting, of course, to talk to our Do-hwan here. She's just like, oh, hi, honey. How are you? It's nice to see you. You've been hanging out with anyone lately? And Min's like, oh, hey, Do-hwan. It's good to see you. And I didn't know that you were going to be coming over. He's like, yeah, my grandma sent me over here with some extra food. And so, OMG, there's just a lot going on. But it looks like, I think Soa has really warmed up to Do-hwan. I think she does quite enjoy his company. She's like, I see why Yoonah likes hanging out with him. He's a very easygoing guy. I'm not sure why he had to get all these tattoos and things, but you know, it's fine. You know, as long as she doesn't want to be in a relationship with him. Do-hwan is coming inside to say hi to the rest of her family. It looks like everyone else has left. Oh, maybe not. Hakun Wong is out here getting into an argument with our dog. Of course he is. Of course he is. That's not surprising. But he's like, hey, so my grandmother, Miss Yamada, asked me to bring you some of this pork. And they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Look at him being so proper to her dad. I love that. How they introduced themselves to each other. That's hilarious. So he thinks Do-hwan is an interesting sim. That's not surprising for her dad to think that. And then, yep, they both think each other are interesting. He's like, so Yoonah told me that you're a fisherman. He's like, yeah, actually I am. So he's going to start telling him some stories about being out on the sea. And so, yeah, I think that her family is actually really warming up to Do-hwan. And, you know, I think Shin-hae here, he's like, you know, I like this kid. I do like him. You know, I wouldn't mind if Yoonah was with a guy like him, but, you know, it's okay. She needs a friend and everything like that. He knows that Yoonah's not interested in him, so he would never push it. Yoonah just got home and got promoted to a mixologist. So she'll make an additional 9 per hour for a grand total of 35. She received a bonus of 515 and an Umber kitchen sink. And her next shift is Saturday at 6 p.m. Wow, so she's working 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. What a horrible shift. But I mean, I guess she is technically a bartender, so that makes sense. But our girl is slowly moving up in the world. So, you know, her mom is not thrilled, honestly, about this new shift, but you know, it is what it is. So anyways, we are going to come in, just say hi to our mom, and then we're going to head on over to Min's house because we have to tell her that we are going to go spend the night over there. She's like, hey mom, don't forget I'm heading on over to Min's house. I'm going to be spending the night. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it, honey. I remember she stopped by to let me know. So, and Do-hwan's like, oh, hey, Yoonah, how's it going? She's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, you know, my grandmother made some extra food and she thought I should drop by and give it to your family. She's like, oh, okay, well, it's good to see you. I'm heading over to see Min. He's like, well, tell her I said hi. Oh, because he can't stop thinking about her. So, all right, let's head on over. Yoonah has arrived at Min's house and they are coming into her room to sit and chat about everything. She's like, okay, so spill, you need to talk to me about everything that went on with this other date that your mom set you up on. Like, I need to know all the details. So of course they're going to come, you know, be totally normal and chat in her brother's room while he's sleeping. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just have them talk about all sorts of different things. And she's like, so tell me the tea. I want to know. She's like, well, so, you know, we went to the Sandbar restaurant and everything. And I mean, he's really nice, but he's so shy. Oh my gosh, her mom's coming in. She's like, oh, but is this about your date? I would love to hear about it. And she's like, yeah. She's like, well, you know, like I was saying, he was really nice. He seems like he's really kind, but he just, you know, I don't think it's going to work out. He was so shy. Like, I had to lead the entire conversation. It was so hard to get anything done because he just didn't want to talk about anything. He was more interested in looking at the ocean than me. And she's like, oh, well, totally get that. And then she's like, but you won't believe this. I have something to tell you. So you remember how I kind of mentioned some guy that like saved me in the alley from a situation? She's like, yeah, what about it? And she's like, well, so I ran into him. He was at the bar. I went to go get a drink for me and Kang Dae-gwan, and he was there. She's like, oh my gosh, well, did you guys talk? Like, what happened? She's like, yeah, so we definitely chatted about everything, or not everything, but, you know, we talked, and it seemed to go pretty good. Like, I had a good little conversation with him. He wanted to know if I was getting into trouble, but I was such a loser. I was so awkward, and I just like blurted out my name to him, but I did find out his name. She's like, oh my gosh, what is his name? She's like, well, it's Hyungsik Park. And she's like, Interesting. So, what are your thoughts about this guy? She's like, well, he's super cute. I think I'm into him, and I just, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do though. Like, after he left, like, girl, my heart was racing. And she's like, honey, I think you have a crush. Like, I think you are seriously like having feelings for someone. She's like, but I don't even know him. She's like, that doesn't mean anything. Is he cute? She's like, oh, I'd be lying if I told you he wasn't. He is seriously like one of the most attractive guys I've ever seen, honestly. She's like, oh my gosh, Yoonah, you are crushing so hard. And Yoonah's like, oh my gosh, I just need to read a book, okay? Like, I need to get my mind off this. Like, it's just the thought of like just talking about him again is making her heart just pitter patter, and she can't stop giggling about it and thinking about it. This girl, she's like, it's just too much. I need to go to sleep. Like, me and her have chatted too long about all of this. So she's got her little sleeping bag. Oh, that's a toddler sleeping bag. Let us get her something different. Here we go. So we have her own sleeping bag now. And so it looks like she's borrowing one that of June's. So anyway, she's going to get herself some shut-eye because she has had such a long day. Yoonah has woken up and she slept pretty late because her and Mean stayed up so late last night just chatting and talking about everything. So she is making some eggs and toast for breakfast for everyone because everyone just seems to be having such a hard time. And so Mean's in here taking a nap on her parents' bed, and her brother's like, oh my gosh, seriously, Mean? Like, oh my goodness. So anyways, it is already like lunchtime, but our girl, we know that she's starting her new shift today. So she's not going into work till 6, and then she doesn't get home till 2 a.m. So, her schedule's going to be a little bit weird for now until she gets another promotion, but we do have to get her mixology skill up again. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see how that goes. She's a little bit embarrassed because unfortunately Mean's father walked in on her while she was using the bathroom. So, I get it. That would be quite embarrassing. But she has been wanting to discuss some fine cuisine and eat some delicious food, of course, get into a relationship, but she had some crazy dreams last night. She had a dream, of course, with Hyungsik Park in it, and then she was like trying to chat with him in the dream and everything, and they were at the beach, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Colt showed up in her dream and just like basically started like harassing her. And then the next thing she knew was Queen Cupcake was showing up and like turned into some weird tiger lion thing and just started chasing both of them around on the beach. Like, she was like, I don't know what was going on, what was happening in my mind, but that was a weird dream. But just thinking about the way Hyungsik looked just makes her sigh, She's feeling all giddy thinking about it. She's still feeling a little bit embarrassed, but it is all okay. So to distract her bestie from her own romance life, she's over here talking up Do-hwan to her. She's like, so Do-hwan was over at my house the other night, and she's like, yeah, I'm warming up to him a lot more. Like, there is something about him. I like how easygoing he is. She's like, Mean, oh my gosh, why don't you just admit it that you think he's cute and you're into him? She's like, girl, I'm more difficult than that. Like, I like to keep my options open. She's like, oh my gosh, please don't be such a flirt. Like, she has a hard time committing, but I think she will be into him eventually, but time will tell. Do-hwan's probably gonna have to make more of the moves. So anyway, she was just chatting about how nice of a day it's gonna be. She's like, we should go out in the sun and enjoy it. She's like, well, don't you have to work tonight? She's like, yeah, I do. But tomorrow is Sunday, and does she have work tomorrow on Sunday? She does. But she's like, I really need to like blow off some steam, so I think a good swim would do me some good. And she's like, well, if that's what you want, we can definitely do that. Oh my gosh, is that Do-hwan? It is. Look, Do-hwan, he's always nearby. He's just over here, he's smiling. He knows for a fact that that's where Mean is. He's like, maybe. Look, she can literally... She can see him right out the window. He's like, maybe she'll recognize my tats. And look, there's Kangdae right there. Oh my gosh, that's way too funny. Oh, these Sims, man. But anyways, since Mean, it looks like she's still gonna be spending some time getting ready. She's like, well, I'm sorry, girl. Like, maybe we can do it tomorrow. We'll go swim. And oh my gosh, she's thinking about that boy so much. But I'm gonna go ahead and send her on home, and well, Yeah, because we need to see if her dad, they need to go fishing. They haven't gone fishing yet. Oh my gosh, like apparently everyone is going fishing right now. So we might have to do that later as well. Yoonah has gotten back to her house and has just been hanging out. But guys, something else is going on. Hanyul is all the way over here and she is just busy chatting with Colt. So they are meeting like away from the house where nobody is seeing them. And he does not like orange, pink, or purple, or yellow, but he likes black, brown, gray, and white. That sounds about right. So he's got a lot of likes and dislikes, it looks like. But yeah, they are just over here chatting it up. I'm wondering if she's found out anything else. Oh yeah, we know he's an evil sim, but they do have good compatibility. It looks like she's talking about non-committal relationships. Oh, poor girl, she's breaking out right now. We might have to help her out with that. But yeah, so she's just over here chatting it up with him. Anyways, though, I figured we can go ahead and have Yoonah work on getting her mixology skill up because we just need to get a promotion again. That way, hopefully we can get her a better shift. And I don't know why she's like stuck. I guess I need to reset her. So I don't know what it is, but every time I try to get her to read this book, it just like makes her stand there like she can't do anything. So maybe we need to purchase a different one to see. Let's see, mixology. We'll go ahead and get volume 2 to see if we can do anything with that. So let's open. Here's our new one. Let's see if she's able to read that. So it looks like she is going to be able to do that one. So maybe it's just because we finished reading the other one so much, or maybe not. It looks like she's stuck again. Oh my goodness. So I'll probably have to restart my game to figure out why she's doing that. But yeah, that is interesting. Oh, and it looks like Chinne is over here just doing some meditation to calm himself down. But anyways, I'm going to get her sent off here to work here shortly and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. So thank you so much, Tater Tots, for joining me on another new K-Drama Legacy episode. We are coming along quite well. We've met the mystery man and everything like that. So we're going to have to see if she runs into him again. We do know his name now, so there's just a lot going on. So if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the future episodes. And don't forget to hit that like button and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And I will catch you next time. See ya!